we'll get going today. I'll put you on mute. And this morning we're going to start with the grounding mudra. And that's the one where we'll put our thumb and connect it to our ring finger on each hand, and then rest the back of your hands on your lap or at your side, wherever it's comfortable for you. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears and lift or allow the crown of the head to lift. And just focus on your breath. This gesture connects us to the earth element, and it helps us feel steady and rooted and supported. You can have your eyes closed or have a soft gaze when you practice your mudra. And you can do this one anytime you feel a little bit scattered or unsteady. I'm going to transition now to the 5-5-5 breathing. And bring your hand one to the heart and one to the belly. We'll just breathe in and out through the nose. To the count of 5, we'll breathe in, then we'll hold our breath to the count of 5, and then breathe out to the count of 5. And I'll walk you through the first few rounds. Go ahead and breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go at your own pace. And if you need to eliminate the holding the breath, just do the inhales and exhales. Count to 5 for each part. Remember that you can come back to this breathing practice anytime you need a moment of calm or focus or presence. Well, now we'll transition to our 5 daily poses. So we'll come to all fours. And go ahead and line up your hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we'll move in our cat and cow. So lift the back, tuck the chin and tailbone, and then lower the belly, lift the chin and tailbone, and go back and forth. And then go ahead and put your knees apart, big toes together, and come back to a wide knee child's pose. Reaching the arms out in front of you and just sinking into your mat. A quote for this pose is, "Within you there's a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time." Anytime throughout this practice, you could come back to this pose if you need a rest. You could also always sit on your mat. We're going to come back to all fours to transition to our belly. So we'll slide the knees back for a plank and then come down to our bellies and put our forearms on the mat so the elbows are under the shoulders and the palms are facing down on the mat. Having the palms down can help ground us. So you can adjust the height of your head and shoulders here, lifting them up or lowering them down more. Find a spot where you feel the stretch on your low back, where you can feel the tension there breaking up with each breath in and out. It shouldn't hurt, pinch, or burn, but you should feel the stretch. You could always return to your 5-5-5 breathing here, because we're going to hold this for just a little bit longer. Now go ahead and lower your head and shoulders, and we're going to push ourselves back up to a kneeling plank and then back to child's with our knees hip distance apart or knees together, not the wide knee child's pose. Just rounding the back as a counter pose from that Sphinx pose that we just did. So we did a cat and cow, a round of that. We did Sphinx and then child's pose. Now we'll come up and sit on the mat and then lower to our backs. So find your way to your back. And before we do our last two of our 5 daily poses, we're going to do constructive rest pose. So what we do for that is just keep the feet flat on the mat and our knees pointing up towards the ceiling. And bring one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And just allow the breath to fill the chest and the belly. When the lungs fill up, let them expand, the chest and the belly. And then let them go down as you exhale. And then we'll set up for our bridge pose. We should be pretty close here. All we need to do is reach our fingertips towards our heels. Again, pressing the palms down. Arms are pressed into the mat. Feet are pressed into the mat. And you can either do a pelvic tilt where you just pull your belly button towards your spine, or you can lift the hips up in the air and squeeze all the muscles in the core area. Keep breathing here. Feel how connected you are with the earth, with your arms and hands and your feet, even your shoulders and your head all pressing into the mat. Make sure you're engaging the muscles in your thighs so your knees aren't splaying out, they're staying in place right over the feet. And then slowly lower your back down on the mat. And for our fifth pose, we'll bring the right knee to chest and straighten the left leg out for wind pose. And you can stay here if twisting isn't a good option for you, or you can take your left hand and pull the right knee over to the left, rolling over onto the left hip, keeping both shoulders on the mat, and turn your head to look over your right shoulder with your right arm outstretched. Whichever pose you've chosen here, just focus on your breathing. Notice where the breath goes in your body. And then slowly roll onto your back. And we'll do the same thing here on the other side. Left knee to chest, right leg long for wind pose. And this is a pose you could choose to stay in, or take your left knee with your right hand, pulling it over to the right, rolling onto your right hip, both shoulders down on the mat, and looking over your left shoulder at your outstretched left arm. Just breathe. And then roll back onto your back and hug your knees to chest and just rock side to side. Go ahead and hug your right knee to chest and let your left leg reach up, your left foot reach up towards the ceiling. Flex that left foot. And then slowly lower that left leg down onto the mat. And take a breath in and out. And then switch, bring your left knee to chest and put your right leg up in the air, right foot flexed. And then slowly lower that right leg down onto the mat. Go ahead and pull both knees to chest again. And rock side to side. If twisting works for you, you could move beyond rocking side to side. Put your arms in a T and let your knees go all the way to the right as far as they will. And take a few breaths here. And then bring the knees back up. And Again, you could just rock side to side, continue that, or let your knees go all the way over to the left and take a few breaths. And then bring your knees to chest again. This time putting your hands on your knees. And we're going to make the knee circles. We'll push the knees away, pull them over to the right, then pull them towards the belly and over to the left and around and around. So your arms, the arms straighten out as you're pushing them away from you, and the elbows bend as you pull the knees towards you. Should be a nice massage for our low back. And then go ahead and switch the direction whenever that feels right for you. And we'll just continue. And then pull your knees towards your armpits. So the left knee towards the left armpit, the right knee towards the right armpit. So the knees are wide. And then go ahead and grab a hold of your calf, ankle, or foot, whatever you can hold on to as your feet, the soles or the bottoms of the feet are pressing up towards the ceiling. And then rock side to side in your happy baby. Really giving our back some love here with all of this back massage. And then go ahead and hug both knees to chest. And then we'll put our feet flat on the mat again, knees bent, preparing for bridge pose. This time it's a moving bridge or a moving pelvic tilt, whichever one works best for you. So you'll either tilt the tailbone or pull the tailbone in towards the mat and then release and go back and forth, or lift the hips up in the air and then lower them down. And you can move at your own pace, following the natural rhythm of your breath. And the next opportunity you have, either hold the tilt or the lift. The hips lifted into bridge. And go ahead and lower your back onto the mat. If it isn't already, hug your knees and then roll to one side or the other. So we'll come up to sit. And then we'll come to all fours. Let's do a few more rounds of our cat and cow. When you look down, you should make sure your hands are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Now we're going to do some hip circles from all fours. So we'll take the hips to the right and then sit back towards our heels, then pull the hips to the left and then forward even, and go around and around. You may notice that it's helpful to bend the elbows at some point, your shoulders and your head. can move in whatever way feels best for you. Try to get all those kinks out of the back and the shoulders while we're getting some movement in our hips. And whenever it makes sense for you, go ahead and switch directions. Then go ahead and come up to tall kneeling, or if you're comfortable with or prefer to sit back on your heels for hero, you can. We're going to do a shoulder stretch, so put the right arm across the body and go ahead and hold it with your left hand. Hold it in place, maybe pull on it or squeeze it closer to feel a stretch, and then turn your head to your right, looking over the right shoulder. We'll go ahead and switch sides. So take the left arm across the body, hang on to the shoulder with your right hand and look over the left shoulder. Go ahead and clasp your hands in front and press the palms up towards the ceiling and look up. And then reach back, and you can either clasp or reach. Press the hands back towards the back of the mat, pulling your shoulder blades towards each other. Facing up towards the ceiling. And then lean forward and bring your hands away from your back. Now if you're in hero, your head might be a little closer to the mat. You can touch it. But even if you start out in your tall kneeling, if you wanted to reach your forehead down all the way to the mat, you can, or you don't need to. It's up to you. And then come all the way up to tall kneeling, making sure your toes are towards the back of the mat, so you have all the mat space out in front. And we're going to focus on some lunges. I'm going to be doing low lunges. If you need to do high lunges because of your knees, you can. We could always, if it helps, to put something extra thick under your knees while we do this, we could do that too. We're taking our right foot out in front, straightening that leg first, and then bending the knee. Always making sure the knee's right over the ankle, and put your hands on your thigh. Right now, your right thigh, and just concentrate on dropping the hips more. So getting more of a stretch in those hips. Then bring your arms up. Keep facing forward. If you're favoring a shoulder, you could always keep the arms down. Just try to drive those hips down again. And then we'll come back up to tall kneeling, and we'll switch sides. So take your left leg out straight, so the foot's out as far as it can go, and then bend the knee and drop those hips, and keep your hands on your thigh as you drop those hips. We're not bouncing them right now. We might do that too, but not in this round. And then go ahead and reach reach your arms up. Keep those hips dropping. Breathe. And then go ahead and come back up to tall kneeling. Now we're going to take our right foot straight out in front and put your hands down on the mat and bring your head towards your knee. Now if you were standing up, you would do the same thing, just standing, head to knee. So you can choose either option. This pose is half splits or half monkey pose. You can adjust how much your hamstrings are stretching by moving your toes. You can push your, flex your foot more, toes up towards the ceiling, or point the toes forward. Or somewhere in between, you could go back and forth if that feels good, pointing and flexing. And now let's come back up to tall kneeling and do the other side. Left leg out. Keep that leg straight. Keep your right hip over that right knee. Hands down on the mat, head towards the knee. And again, on this side, you could do it standing instead as well. You may try that again, pointing the toes more up towards the ceiling or away, depending on what stretch you're looking for, or back and forth. And then go ahead and come up to tall kneeling. And one more side, we'll do a lunge on each side again. So right leg forward, bend the knee, and then we're going to either do a low lunge or a runner's lunge. It's up to you. If you want to do the runner's lunge, you tuck the left foot and straighten that left leg. And here's where I'd recommend a little bit of bouncing if you'd like. So don't move the position of your knee or your foot. You're just lifting the hips up and down. Just trying to get a little bit more movement there, and then drop the hips. And just breathe. Come back to tall kneeling. And bring your hands to heart. And the left foot will go forward for the lunge. Again, you can choose a low lunge or a runner's lunge. If you're doing the runner's lunge, your right foot, toes are tucked and your legs straight. From either lunge, you can bounce a little bit. Slowly lifting the hips up and down, getting a little bit more stretch there. All right, go ahead and lower that knee and come back to tall kneeling. And just bring our arms up and inhale, and then lower the arms and exhale. Again, you could stand up if you prefer at this point, or stay on your knees. Go ahead and leave your arms down at your side now. And if you'd like to do a little back bend, put your hands on your low back and arch your back, trying to keep the hips right over the knees still. So we're not leaning, we're arching. Feel the opening of your heart and take some breath. And then we'll come up to stand. Stand facing the short end of your mat in your mountain. So your feet are hip distance apart. Feet are hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward, heels back, palms face forward, shoulders are away from your ears. Breathe. Think about how your neck and shoulders feel. If you need to turn your head side to side or roll the shoulders, you can. Do whatever feels good to get the kinks out of the neck and shoulders. Then just feel the weight in your feet. And maybe close your eyes or have a soft gaze just for a few breaths, standing tall in your mountain. Next, we're going to sit in our chair pose. So we'll do this a little bit differently today. We're going to sit in chair like we typically do. So start with your hands to heart and sit back at whatever height works for you. And then make sure you can see your toes. Think about your belly button and pulling it towards your spine. If you'd like to reach your arms out, you can. Now, we're going to move in chair, and instead of reaching up when we stand in our mountain, we'll put our arms down at our side as we stand up, and then reach our arms out as we sit. So just start to move in your chair like that, at whatever pace works for you that matches your breathing. So you're inhaling and exhaling. And then if you'd like to add a little balance challenge to this, when you come up to your mountain, you could lift one knee and then lower it as you come to chair. Lift the other knee when you're in your mountain. So you're doing a one-legged balance in between each chair pose. It's up to you if you want to do that or keep both feet down. The next time you're in chair, hold your chair for just a little bit longer. Think about your belly button pulling towards your spine. And then come all the way up to stand. We're going to take our feet the width of the short end of the mat. And clasp your hands in front, press the palms up. Take a breath. And then do some side bends back and forth. And then go ahead and reach your hands back. Either clasp the hands or reach and arch the back. Reach those hands back towards the back of the mat. Lift the chin. And then if you'd like to lean forward and bring your hands away from your back, you can. Bring them away as far as they'll go. And then come back up. And we'll bring our hands to heart and come to either a squat or a crouch. Just depends on how deep you want to bend those knees. If you want to do a squat, your thighs are parallel to the knees and your hips are. If you want to do a crouch, if your knees will cooperate, you would lower the hips towards the heels. Just keep focusing on your breath here. Then we'll come back up to stand. And we'll turn to face the long end of the mat. Put your feet wide. And then I encourage you to put them even a little wider, if you can. Bring your hands to heart and take a breath. And then put your arms in a T and turn your head side to side as you're breathing in and breathing out. Go ahead and turn your left foot toes to the left and bend the knee for your warrior two. Looking over your left shoulder. Maybe tuck your tailbone just a little bit, put your belly button in. Then bring your hands to heart, straighten the leg, toes forward, heels back for both feet. And then come to your wide leg forward fold. Now you could always choose more of a half lift if that's more comfortable for you, or you could reach down towards the mat. If you wanted to do more of a half lift, you could have your fingertips down on the mat, or you could use a block. When your head's hanging here, try to think about the stress rolling off the shoulders. Feel strong and stable in your wide leg posture. And then come all the way up and put your arms in a T again. And this time turn your toes out, heels in, and bend the knees. So we're in a nice squat here. And then we're going to straighten the legs and bring the palms up and together. Bend the knees, arms in a T. And go back and forth, inhaling and exhaling. Sun pose. Sun's just brightening up the day, just starting to really light it up out here. Then go ahead and stay up, bring your hands to heart, toes forward, heels back. Again, see if you could get your feet a little wider. Put your arms back in a T. And turn your head side to side. And then bring your right foot toes to the right and bend the knee for your warrior two. Looking over your right shoulder. straighten the legs, hands to heart, toes out, heels in again, and bend the knees. And this time, take your arms in a T again. But when you straighten the legs, bring your hands by the shoulders. And then when the knees are bent, arms go back in a T, back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. Go ahead and stay up. Bring your hands to heart, feet, toes forward, heels back, and another wide leg forward fold or a half lift is fine too. Go ahead and come all the way up to stand, and stand with your feet hip distance apart. We're going to do a little bit of balancing here. If you'd like to hold on to something, you can. And we're going to settle into our right side first. And we're going to lift our left knee up in the air. And if you want to hold it with one hand or both, you can. Keep your gaze steady. And then go ahead and lower that foot, kind of step side to side, and then switch. And bring your right knee up. If you want to hold on to it with one or both hands, you can. Good job. Lower that foot. Kind of step side to side. And then we'll settle in to the right foot again and lift the left knee up. This time we're going to move that left knee off to the left. And then settle our left foot alongside the right leg for tree pose. So I wanted our knee to be out to the left first to open up that hip. So you can adjust where your arms are here. And then lower that foot and step side to side. And then switch. So settle into your left leg, and we're going to bring our right knee up. Then take that right knee off to the right, and then settle your right foot below or above the knee, and adjust your arms for tree. Really focusing on not just the balance, but the hip opening. Still feeling grounded with the one foot pressing in to the floor. And then go ahead and lower that foot. And we'll come back to face the short end of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. We're going to focus a little bit more on our breathing. So inhale, reach the arms up, lift the chin, and then exhale, stay standing, lower the arms to your side and lower your chin. And go back and forth, inhaling and exhaling. we'll go ahead and swan dive with our exhale if you'd like. Adding that to the breathing work, and then reverse swan dive back up and go back and forth. And then stay in your forward fold, or a half lift is fine. Then come to all fours and think about how you would like to do your pigeon pose. You could do it starting from all fours, or you could do it on your back, and you could try it on all fours first, and if it's too much for your knee, you could go on your back. If you already know that it's better for you on your back, do that. If you're on all fours, the right knee comes forward by the right wrist, the right foot goes off to the left, and you slide your left leg back, keeping the hips forward. If you've chosen to be on your back, you would put your right ankle over the left knee and decide whether or not you need more stretch, and then you'd bring your left knee towards your chest. If you're facing forward, if you started from all fours, you could get a deeper stretch by lowering the upper body and maybe resting your head on your hands or on the mat. Again, I'd like you to have your head supported, so whether that's with your hands stacked or your head on the mat, or you could just lift up higher so your head is lifted. You decide which way you want to go, and then focus on your breathing. Now we're going to go ahead and switch sides, and you can decide, again, you could do it starting from all fours or on your back. You don't have to do both sides the same way. If you're facing forward, left knee towards the left wrist, the left foot goes to the right, and your right leg goes back. Or if you're on your back, your left ankle goes over the right knee, and you pull that knee towards you for more if you need more. Go ahead and fold forward over your front leg if you'd like. And make sure your head is supported. Now go ahead, everyone can come to sitting now. And we're going to stretch our legs out in front of us for staff pose. And keep your arms down at your side, toes pointing up. And then reach your arms out in front. We're going to lift the arms up, lift the chin, look up, and then reach the arms straight out again. Then take your arms out to the side in a T, and bring the arms straight out, and then up, and out to the side to a T, and then out front. And then just keep moving like that, back and forth. Your arms go up in the air, then straight out, and then in a T, and straight out. Move with your breath. We'll go ahead now and lower the arms and bring your feet soles of the feet together, knees apart for your butterfly. Try to bring the knees closer to the mat and either stay upright, looking straight ahead, or you could lean forward, trying to hinge at your hips to get just a little deeper stretch in the hips. Then keep your right foot where it is, straighten your left leg out, and either keep your right foot next to the left thigh or lift it up over the top of the left thigh, keeping that foot flexed, keeping both feet flexed actually, and then reaching if you want to do a forward fold. If forward folds aren't a good idea for you, you could stay upright, or you could even do a back bend here. The motion moving forward when we're in this pose helps to stretch the hips out a little bit more. And then go ahead and we'll switch sides. We'll straighten the right leg, bend the left knee so the left foot's either alongside of the right thigh or on top of it. And then either reach forward, stay up, or do a little back bend. And then go ahead and come back up and put both the soles of the feet together, knees apart. And this time just bounce the knees as you hold on to your feet or your ankles. And then we'll put our feet flat on the mat. Make sure we're sitting in the center, and we'll lower onto our back. Once you're on your back, let your knees go wide for butterfly again. So your soles of your feet are together. And put your palms facing down on the mat. Your hands could be at your side or out in a T. You have your palms facing down to further ground you. The quote for this pose is, "To be rooted is perhaps the most important and least recognized need of the human soul." And another one is, "Grounding reconnects you to the rhythm of nature and your own inner calm." Now go ahead and put your feet flat on the mat and bring your knees together and put your feet apart. So your feet are on the outside edges of the mat with the knees knocking together. And just stay here with your palms facing down and allow your body to become heavy and supported by the mat. Take a slow, deep breath in and a gentle breath out. And allow your face and your jaw to relax. Bring your awareness to your feet. Feel the weight of your heels, the softness of your toes, and imagine roots growing down from the soles of your feet into the earth. Move your awareness into your legs, calves, knees, and thighs, and sense their weight sinking down, grounding you more deeply. Notice your hips and pelvis, the center of gravity in your body, and breathe into this space, inviting release with each exhale. Allow your hips to feel wide, steady, and supported. Shift your attention now up the spine the lower back, the mid back, and your upper back. And notice how the ground holds you fully. Let your shoulders soften and rest heavy. Feel your arms, hands, and fingers relaxed. And turn your palms up to receive. Finally, bring awareness to your breath moving through your chest and your belly. Slow, steady, and nourishing. Now, as you take one more breath in and another long exhale, imagine yourself completely grounded and connected to the earth. Continuing to breathe here, to rest here, feeling rooted and present. Take another inhale, nice and slow, in through your nose. And then a slow exhale out through your mouth. And then find your way back to sitting. And bring your hands to heart. The closing quote is, "And forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair." Lower your arms to your side and lower your chin. Inhale, reach your arms out and all the way up and bring your palms together. And then exhale and slowly bring your hands to heart. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you.